You're not even entering Frosties because you're going to commentate me washing bums like you. Shut up.
Frank! Oh, let me see this.
Oh! Tell him about himself. Tell him about himself.
I am never unbanning you. Ever again. You're done. You're not funny. I don't like you. I've never liked you. You think I'm kidding when I say these things? I don't want your support. I don't want. As a matter of fact, the fact that we're correlated in some way upsets me.
Yo, what's happening? Your boy Joe-Skate, and this is something I'm very excited to talk about because I feel like it has not been evaluated properly. Mostly because the Discord happens on Twitter, and as we all know, Twitter is not capable of a rational conversation. But a little insight on me going into this so I can be a little more transparent. I am a very competitive person. That is how I grew up. You know, my siblings, my uncles, things like that. We always just talk trash. You know, we wouldn't seek challenges, things like that. So I just wanted to be a little transparent because that's going to influence my view in this video. After you get finished with the video, please like, subscribe, and comment down below what you think. I would love to see your thoughts and talk about it. Cause I know this can kind of get a little, get a little controversial in here. So without further ado, let's get into it. Alright, for starters, this video will be limited to fighting games since that's what I'm most interested in and have the most knowledge in. So FPS and mobile people, sorry, I don't have anything for your partner, but you may find similarities, so stick around. So I noticed there's a constant thing on Twitter where fighting game players would diss each other and talk mad trash about each other, and then nothing will come of it. There's always some excuse or refusal to put one's ego on display. I guess they're just like scared to get it crushed in front of people or whatever, right? But it's kind of annoying because in this day and age, you can just kind of go online, albeit with varying degrees of success. Yes, I'm looking at you Dragon Ball FighterZ and Granblue, but you can just go and play them in money matches or just grudge match and play for pride. Money doesn't even have to be involved. However, when people suggest this, or when the people says that, then somehow the conversation devolves to this is just drama and this is toxic for the community. This usually then devolves further to the new school versus old school argument. That topic is rehashed every other month, so I'm not going into that here. Just keep your eyes open on Twitter and I guarantee you'll see it. So, there's an instance of people talking trash a couple months ago, and one of my favorite fighting game players, commentator / content creator, Rob TV, was like, well, instead of all this talking, let's just run the set, let's get it popping. He's kind of a bombastic guy. He likes to, set the stage, and people respect him for that. And I'm not naming any players or anything, but initially they backed out and said they were kind of forced to do this and they were interested. Which led me to think, isn't that slightly more toxic? Like, it's different to talk shit and then play it out in the game and leave it at that, let bygones be bygones. But to do that, say all this stuff, and then say, fuck you, I'm not playing, feels a bit more personal. Like, it feels a bit more of an attack on that person rather than banter about the game. Now, they eventually did play, and I have no issues with the players themselves, and rather the discourse around it. Notable players or people in the community chimed in calling Rob TV toxic for trying to instigate, and people in general shared their opinion on it, and did the old faithful, this is why people don't want to join the community. I just cannot understand how in a completely separate situation this is toxic, by trying to settle who is better at the time, or differences with a completely safe game that both players agreed on. From a realistic standpoint, you do not know this person maybe beyond a few Twitter interactions. You do not owe this person any advanced kindness beyond basic respect. But shit talk, as long as it's not low blows like going about their family or something, I believe is healthy for those who enjoy the thrill of competition in a medium that is inherently competitive. It's literally two people beating each other ass on screen. Sometimes if it's a tag game, it's like 6 or 7 people beating their ass on screen. Like, it gets hectic. That's just the nature of the game, I believe. People should feel as if they can be confident in their abilities and willing to test it against people talking trash as long as it's not in a crazily aggressive manner. However, over months and years since I joined the FGC in 2017, I've seen interactions where those who would rather play the game and skip the bullshit are seen as a toxin to those who just want to have fun. Of course, that is subjective and fun varies, but in general, these entities online are grinding ranked and obviously aren't just sitting in arcade mode or training mode. The people who do that aren't the vocal people on Twitter. They post their tech and move on. People who aren't talking trash generally aren't the ones involved, So the rage at people talking their trash I never understood. I'm not saying everybody needs to be prowling saying run the set to literally everyone no matter what they say, but if it's not ad hominem attacks, then just let it rock. There's a saying that I feel appropriately describes some of the players, which is that some of the people in the community will definitely throw a rock and then try to hide their hand. Because they will say stuff, calling stuff toxic or corny, but when the event happens and it is met with great reception, now it's like the FGC is so dope and this is why this community is so hype, yada yada yada. It just seems that if people want to bandwagon the side that seems safe, then when the coast is clear, and act like they were always on board. I'm just a guy that wants to see hype things and don't always view events that have nothing to do with me from my own emotional standpoint, which I think people need to start doing. I'm not involved, so my opinion or feelings aren't needed. People feel the need to throw around the word drama when the situations at hand are barely a blip in anyone's life who can detach themselves from the internet for 3 seconds. It is just another thing that happened that isn't going to impact anything at large. Anything vitally important to the integrity of the scene is usually handled swiftly and ubiquitously across the board. Much of the moments that define the FGC are based on someone's competitive spirit, I believe. K-Brad and Wolfcrone talking trash, Punk with literally anyone talking trash. A lot of these moments, a lot of these people, these figureheads that kind of mold what people like about the FGC are inherently competitive people. And I feel like having pride in that and talking your trash is not an inherently bad thing, and I feel like it's being painted that way. FPS and MOBA games are known for their trash talk and known for the very toxic behavior, and yet they're not hemorrhaging people in their community. In fact, they grow larger day by day. So the notion that the FGC can't talk trash have to be this very calm, very like good games, shake hands and always be buddy thing doesn't seem very realistic, nor does it seem conducive to the environment that other people want to foster, where it's like, yeah, you know, let's get hyped, let's get excited. A side topic I wanted to briefly talk about is the view of regional rivalries. Well, obviously not as relevant, and of course, I'm much newer to the FGC to have experienced them. I personally think for what I've seen that they're absolutely dope, and a lot of cool things have spawned from the rivalries of yonder years. To see people call them corny or pointless kind of disappoints me, since having pride in those you grinded with in the region that made you, I feel is a valid reason. And it's pretty cool. Having regional pride, I think, is too closely related in some people's heads to having really obnoxious patriotism or nationalism, which I don't think is quite the same. And people just feel really rooted in where they came from because that's what molded them. But that is another thing for another day. A common rebuttal I hear against competitive people is that it's just a game, which obviously everyone understands. But when someone puts time into something, especially when it's a larger part of their brand and source of income, they're entitled to have pride in something they put a lot of time and investment into. Obviously it's a game, that's cool, but it's a game where I'll absolutely fuck you up. And for most competitive people, that's just the bottom line. In the words of Justin Wong, maybe I'm just mashing on words. Let me know what you think, comment down below, like and subscribe if you enjoyed the content. There's going to be more gameplay videos coming soon. We're doing a lot of discussion, but I'm going to go about playing some games. So hopefully y'all look forward to that, and I'll catch y'all on the flip. Peace.